Okay, we're in a different creek today, Hopkins County, Kentucky. Oh yeah, you're getting ready to go under right there.
I am?
Yeah, both my boots are full of water. I hate wearing these boots. Yeah, I'm submerged. All right, hopefully we find a point. Very nice creek, 7 Points Creek. Let's see what we can do. Okay, yeah, we've been walking a while, damn near swimming, and my brother's finally walked up on the first point. Let's go over and see what he's got. Yep, right there it is. All right, Bubba, see what we got there.
Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, he's home.
Oh, nice.
Look at that.
Nice.
Serrated.
Wow.
A little bit of tail.
Yeah, maybe. It might have been worked that way. Let's get a picture of it. All right, flip her over one time. There we go. Nice one. All right, Bubba. Letitia's done evacuated us and started the retreat.
Yeah.
This water is so deep here. If we just waited a couple more days, it would have been perfect, but we got a little bit of rock to look on before we abandon it. So here we go. All right, yeah. We're giving up. Water's too deep. We're gonna go see if we can find another creek. Really, really windy. There's Letitia. She's already at the truck waiting for us. All right, yeah, we'll be there in about 20 minutes, honey. All right, we done changed creeks. Back at Heartbreak. Good old Heartbreak. Been walking forever. And I come up on this one. Right on top. Just waiting for me to pick it up. Nice. Yeah, it's all. See that? All right, hopefully we'll find some more. That's what we're hoping anyway. everybody. Nice to see you. Glad you can stop by today. I want to apologize. It's been almost a month since I downloaded a video. I've been really busy since that last video. Kind of shook everyone up about the scientist and his observations on the land between the lakes. And I've spent my last 3 weekends down there trying to dig up some evidence. But don't worry, we filled the holes back in. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for joining us. It's really good to have you. If you're an old subscriber, a returning subscriber, please check to make sure that you're still subscribed. I've had a lot of people leave comments and private messages saying that they were unsubscribed arbitrarily by this platform. It's really a tough platform to make it on if you're a truther like me. If you don't toe the narratives that's been spoon-fed to you for years and years and years, decades, and you insist on telling the truth about things, and people don't like that. So please check to make sure that you're still subscribed, and do it as often as you can, because you might be surprised to find that you're not subscribed anymore due to no fault of your own. But it's been really busy, and I apologize also for not doing this video outside like we usually do. We usually like to go to locations that have high activity of humanoids, but the weather's not cooperating at all. It's really cold outside, and the wind's blowing about 40 miles an hour, so we have to make do with what we have here. So, and I'm really behind on my emails and all that stuff, so I really need to take this weekend and really try to catch up on some of that stuff. And today's video is about something a little bit different than Dogman and Bigfoot, although I have plenty of those coming up. So I have a bunch of emails from LBL, Land Between the Lakes, coming up, a bunch of Bigfoot experiences coming up, and I want you to know that I vet each one of these reports. I just don't read them and take for granted that they're telling me the truth. I have to know, because this channel is about the truth, and it's not about all this creepy pasta crap that everyone's spreading around. And those guys, by the way, are getting rich on this platform, while truthers like me are being suppressed, shadow banned, and having our subscribers taken away. So today I want to ask you a question. Do you believe in angels and demons and such like that? Do you believe in the reality of God and the devil? So drop me a comment in the comment section below and let me know your reasons why you do believe or don't believe, and maybe I can do a little something today to help you along. I have a couple of stories here that I want to read to you about people seeing angels, and this is from my Mysterious Kentucky Volume 2 book. The first one comes from Russell County, from the Marlboro Express, issue 659, November 18th, 1874. And it follows. A few days ago, Mr. and Mrs. Pierce, who live in the Long Bottom, discovered something in the cloudless sky, just under the sky, that very much resembled a man. They immediately went to their own or a neighbor's house and told what they had seen. Pretty soon others went forth to make observations, but instead of seeing the man that had been recognized by the others, they plainly discovered two women emerging from the sky, one from the left and the other from the right of the sun. They gradually came together just under the center of the sun until they were in the embrace of each other, at which moment a large eagle came forth and sailed around the women for 15 minutes, and at length rested on their heads and remained there for some time. The same evening, A Mr. Davis, who lives 2 miles from the Pierces, saw the same sights at the same time of day. Mr. Davis and the Pierces are reliable gentlemen, however strange their discovery may appear. Strange indeed. No mention is made of any of the skybound figures having wings, nor of the eventual departure of the 3 inhumanoid figures or their large eagle. Were they angels? Heavenly messengers sent from above to inspire and enlighten the social citizenry? One answer is as good as another. It is no secret that newspapers of that era purposefully published many fabricated articles, the more sensational the better, in order to sell more papers. Yet there are other accounts of angels being seen in Kentucky which go back decades and appear to be perfectly sincere. Randy J. Stacy, author and lead researcher for the Kentucky Hollows Paranormal Research Group, wrote in Spirits of Southeast Kentucky, of Southeast Kentucky, of how his father, Joe Ray Stacy, had related to him an experience he had one night as a young man walking to the store in Wabaco, Kentucky, near Hazard. On his way to the store, he had to walk past the Riverside Cemetery, just he'd done before many times in the past, but this night was different. This particular night, just as he was passing the gates, he noticed a light which was shining near the center of the graveyard. It glowed brighter and, to his astonishment, began to form into the shape of an angel sitting on one of the headstones. It was so bright that it lit the entire area, Stacy's dad told him. As the man stood there, transfixed yet hardly believing what he was seeing with his own 2 eyes, the figure, in all of its accompanying radiance, suddenly vanished into thin air. Dad told me that it scared him so badly that he ran all the way home, Stacy wrote. Now this next one was sent to me by a lady who lives in Clay County, Kentucky. Very, very nice lady, I have to say, and extremely honest and sincere. And this has a photo accompanying it. So I'll read you this account and show you this picture, and you can make up your own minds. I'm telling you, I've been living in Kentucky for 56 years now, and it's not like I've been inside that whole time. I'm very familiar with all the birds, especially the large birds that are native to this area. I can tell you the difference between a chicken hawk and a turkey vulture from about a quarter mile or so, and the difference between an owl, for instance, and a crane. So very familiar with the birds, and I'm telling you right now, this bird is not a bird. It's a bird. It's one that I've never seen before. So here's the account from Clay County. On the afternoon of July 1st, 2016, Jennifer Brock Jackson was sitting outside on her front porch in southeast Kentucky, deleting images from her cell phone, when she noticed an odd-looking cloud in the sky. She stared at it for a moment. To her, it looked like the face of Jesus. So she, being a devout Christian lady, took her phone and snapped a picture. When she viewed it later, she was utterly surprised to see that a winged humanoid figure could clearly be seen in the shot. When I questioned her, she was adamant that she had not seen anything either before, during, or after taking the picture, and insisted that the sky was perfectly clear. She'd only intended to take a picture of the cloud, she told me. She heard no flapping wings or any other sound as might have come from a bird or drone, nothing. I was just sitting on my porch and wasn't focusing on anything but the clouds, she told me. I saw this, what I thought looked like Jesus' face in the cloud, appear. It stayed there forever, it seemed like. You know how the clouds move after a while and they look like something else one second, and then the next second they all form together? Well, this cloud did not move. It stayed there for a long time. It amazed me, so I got my phone and took a picture of it. I have the original pic on my phone still, and she did send me the picture. And this is a cropped, zoomed in shot of it. Let's see if you guys can see that. I will put the original at the end of this video. I'll attach it to the end of the video so you guys can see it. I then saw this bird-looking thing in the picture after I began looking at the pics I took. To be honest, I felt it was an angel. I will admit that it is very strange, but I have a good feeling about it. I just want everyone to know that I have no reason to lie about it. I know we have our own opinions, and I have let everyone post what they thought on my page about it and did not argue with them because, seriously, I really don't know what it is either. I can't argue with people for what they think they see or think it is. One thing that does hurt me, though, and that is when someone says I photoshopped it. I have never used Photoshop. I will not waste mine or anyone's time by persuading people to believe in me. The strangest thing is, people here in Clay County, Kentucky have said that they saw the same thing. So who knows what it is? But I really find it interesting that Jesus' face appears in the cloud, and then a picture of what I consider an angel appears. If this is a bird, it is a human-looking bird. There was no cropping, editing, no color change, nothing. This picture has no filter. When I asked her what she felt the subject in the picture was, she said, "It's definitely no bird. I think it's an angel." When she made the picture public on social media, the usual suggestions were rolled out as to the object's possible identity. Bird, Mothman, peacock, drone, sandhill crane. Now that's a favorite. Some felt that the picture showed a kite being flown, but Jennifer rejected those ideas, reasoning, and rightly, that if it were a kite or a bird or a drone, she would have seen it after she took the picture, which she did not. A couple of days later, her daughter told her that she and some friends were camping on Spring Creek and had also observed the same or similar figure flying through the sky just a day later on July 2nd. She too had thought it was an angel. Also on July 2nd, another woman, Nicole Wagers, claimed that her and both of her daughters saw the same or similar figure in the sky while camping at a place called, ironically, Sand Hill. I was sitting outside when I saw the angel, she told me. I didn't have my phone with me to take any pics, but was glad that Jennifer did, and she was not where I was at. I was back in Sand Hill. It was probably one of the most beautiful things I'd ever seen. When asked how far away she estimated that the object to be, and if she could describe it in more detail, she wrote, "It was kind of far, but yet didn't seem too far, if that makes any sense. It was the most beautiful sight ever. It was white, and it seemed as if there was some light around it. The angel had its arms, wings spread. As far as how big it was, it seemed to be the size of an average person, but slender. It looked as if it had on maybe a dress or a robe. I can remember thinking just how beautiful it was and how in awe I was. I told my girls to look, and we all automatically knew it was an angel. I was sitting in an open field when I saw it, so as far as distance goes, it was probably a few miles away and up, about halfway in the sky." Another friend of Jennifer's told me that his father, now deceased, had seen the same thing in Pikeville, Kentucky, and had even drawn a sketch of it. Unfortunately, it happened years before the incident in question, and the drawing has become lost. He also claimed that his father mentioned to a nurse at Pikeville Hospital, who told him that other people in the area had seen the same thing and described it as a large, bird-looking thing as big as a man. Yet another friend admitted that she thought the figure was the same one her parents had claimed to see while driving toward Hyden, Kentucky a few days before. This angel sure does get around, and it apparently is not shy. So, there's another, the original photo. Of course, it's in black and white, but I will put the photo that Jennifer sent me. I will attach it to the end of this email, or to the end of this video, rather. We corresponded through email for several days, and I'm thoroughly convinced that she's telling the truth, and the picture speaks for itself. So if anyone asks me if I believe in angels, I have to say yes, I do. I'm a man of faith. I do believe in God and the existence of spiritual entities that we cannot see. So there you have that one. I'm going to attach the pictures to the end of this video, and I'm going to come back and read a few more emails. So, hold on. Okay. As I said earlier, I'm a man of faith, but I am in no way trying to instill my beliefs on anyone else. I'm just here to tell you the truth. That's my only agenda. So, what you take away from these videos is up to you, but all of them are true. So, you can believe them or not. Now, let's get to some of these emails that I've been waiting for me to read on a video. So, hi Barton and Letitia. Hi Beth. This is from Beth Wojcicki. I'm still enjoying the channel and just watched the 2 most recent episodes. I'm always amazed at the amount of points and other tools, evidence of flint napping you find there, and wonder if where you're based used to be a quarry for early peoples. There's just so much. Well, Beth, honestly, I don't know. I'm not one to say that I know everything, and I've never seen a flint quarry here in Henderson, Kentucky. Now, it would not surprise me if there was one or more here. It's just that I've never seen any myself. So thank you for sending in the question. We really appreciate you, Beth. Okay. Next one. This is from a Mark Plowboy Green. Hello, Mr. Barton. Hello, Mark. Just wanted to tell you I really enjoy your channel, artifact hunting, boogers, and other beings. There are a lot of YouTube channels and podcasts. Yours is one of my favorites already to watch. I guess I need to tell who I am and a little bit about me. My name is Mark Green. I live in a small town of Oak Grove, Alabama, next to the city of Siliquaga. I think that's how you pronounce that. I hope I didn't slaughter it. East Central Alabama. It's located at the southern end of the Appalachian Mountains, where mountains turn to rolling hills to the Gulf Plain. I grew up and have lived here all my life. I was raised on a row crop and beef cattle farm with my family homesteading, plus hunted, fished, trapped, and most outdoor activities for my area. Most of my life up to January 2007 was fairly normal. I had encounters before then, but didn't realize it till 2007. I knew something was in the woods, but didn't know what it was. Most encounters before then was mostly when I was coon hunting. January 2007, me and 2 friends decided to go hunt for deer and hogs on the Lowndes County Wildlife Area near Selma, Alabama, on the Alabama River. This is about 70 miles from where I live. We just wanted to try different areas out to just get away from our hunting club for a day. We got there before daylight, got checked in at checking station, hunted all morning, seen a lot of does but no bucks or hogs. It was only a buck hunt that day. That afternoon we decided to go hunt the south of wildlife area next to St. Mark's Church. I had seen where there was a large green field that would be large and safe place for all 3 of us to hunt. This green field was about 300 yards long. So one friend got at one end of the field, the other in the middle, and me at the farther end of the field. We all faced the same way, where we couldn't shoot at each other. I sat down next to a large white oak facing the field with a large hardwood swamp to my back. This was around 2 p.m. That day was a little cool, cloudy with a west breeze occasionally. Around 3:30, 2 does walked into the field from the hardwood bottoms. They feed around. I was hoping a buck would be following as rut was in. About 4:30, I noticed the 2 does kept looking back toward the hardwoods behind me. This went on for 5 minutes or so. I heard movement back in the hardwoods, and I was thinking a buck was coming. All of a sudden, the 2 does bolted across the field, going the opposite direction. This was kind of strange to me. I could still hear some movement coming from coming toward the field from the hardwoods, but it then changed direction and went behind me some. I started noticing it was acting like it was trying to get behind me. Finally, my curiosity got the best of me. I slowly stood up, with the tree still hiding my outline. I peeped around the tree and looking for something to be standing back in the hardwoods. At first I didn't see anything, but caught movement about 60 or 70 feet from me behind a big pin oak. I could see a figure, what looked like a person, but just partial. I was thinking a hunter had walked up, but then I noticed no hunter orange, and this wasn't acting like a human. It was getting dark and I couldn't make it out. I done something I shouldn't have done. I raised my rifle and looked through the scope. That's when I saw it was a hairy covered shoulder, arm, and leg. It then peeped at me, but I really couldn't make out the face. It was covered in hair. I lowered my rifle and it just kept peeping what seemed like a minute or two. Then all of a sudden it went down on all fours and shot out of there, heading back into the hardwood bottoms. At first I wasn't scared, but as soon as it left, I started getting fearful. It was just about dark. I started back toward the truck, looking back to make sure I wasn't being followed. I got to the spot where my friend was and hollered for him. He stepped out into the field. I asked him had he seen anyone or heard anything. He said no. I didn't tell him what I saw. We got to the truck. My other friends were already there. I asked them, did they see anyone or hear anything? And they said no, but did ask if something was wrong. They said I was white as a sheet. I told them I had seen something, but I didn't know what. From there I started looking at websites for information on Bigfoot. I found the AlabamaBigfoot.com, the late Mike McLean. I decided to send him an email about what I saw. He did email me back, and we started emailing back and forth. He asked if a researching friend of his could call me and take the report, and I said yes. A few days later, Mr. Tal Branco, Bill White, called me and talked to me. We had a long conversation, and he asked could he put my sighting on the web page, and I agreed. From there, I didn't know that in a few months I would be researching in my area and taking reports of sightings and doing field investigations for Mr. Tal and Mike in my area. I don't really call myself a researcher, just a country boy that had the subject fall into my lap. I could tell you about a lot more encounters I've had and other sightings I've investigated. I didn't realize how many of those beings were there. I didn't realize how many of those beings there are in my area. I won't keep going on. I know this was a long email. You are welcome to call me or email me anytime. I don't give my phone number out much, but for some reason I feel comfortable about it with you. Have a good day. Mark Green. By the way, the booger was around 6.5 to 7 feet tall, blackish brown. He was kind of built like a track runner, slim but muscular. Never smelled anything. Yeah, that's an interesting email, and thank you, Mark, for sending that in. And I did get back with Mark. And to make sure that there wasn't anything else that he wanted to send. And he did send me something else. And if only my Gmail would cooperate with me, I'll get that read to you. Okay. I told him thank you, and he said you're welcome. I just listened to your interview with Michigan Bigfoot, enjoyed it. We have a lot of the same feelings toward these beings. Have a good day, and Christ keep you all safe. Same to you, Mark. I really appreciate you sending in your sighting. It's always great when people decide to share their experiences with other people, because that's the only thing we can do. You know, when you see a Bigfoot or a dog man or other type of inhumanoid, you're often left confused and not knowing what to do. Your whole world has been turned upside down, and you really just don't know what to do. But I'm telling you right now, the only thing that you can do is to stand up and tell your story and tell the truth. That's it. So if you've done that, then you've done all you can do. And don't worry about who believes you or who don't believe you, because that doesn't matter. So, what else we got? This is from Travis, listener of the show. Hello, Mr. Barton. Hello, Travis. I have not had a sighting or encounter, but I wanted to contact you. Okay. I love Joe Barger's story about his encounter in the Manistee National Forest in Michigan. You and Joe sound like honest, legit people. Thanks, Travis. We are. Joe Barger is an extremely trustworthy person, extremely sincere. He's a Christian. He doesn't lie. So I believe him, and I think that you can believe him too. How many encounters have you had with cryptids? Oh, wow. I've had about 12 or 13 encounters, hard as that may be for some to believe, with about 6 different animals that I do not know. I have no clue what they were. 3 of the encounters were with inhumanoids, the inhumanoids we call Bigfoot. The others were what I think are true cryptids, which are natural animals rumored to exist but not yet classified. And that's the key, natural animals, which Bigfoot and Dogman and Mothman and the humanoids, they are not natural animals. So I definitely believe they have to be dangerous, like he said on the radio show. People trying to say they're like Care Bears sounds delusional. Wild animals are unpredictable. Right, so are inhumanoids. I live in Michigan and have seen a lot of documentaries. I've been walking in the Ottawa County parks for 20 years. I've never seen or heard anything strange yet. With over 7 billion people on Earth, it seems strange that nobody has a clear shot picture of a Bigfoot or Dogman. You would think there would be stuff on the news more often about another person found dead from an unknown animal attack. Well, that's where you're wrong, Travis. They don't want anyone to know what's happening with these inhumanoids attacking and killing people. So you'll never see any of that on the news or a newspaper, unless they say it was a wild dog or wild animal attack. And that's all they say. I've heard people say they are Nephilim giants from the Bible, which could make sense if the fallen angels manipulated the animals to make hybrids. Yes, it would, and it also makes sense that the government are doing the same thing and have been since World War II. Look that up, Operation Paperclip. They brought over 1,600 Nazi scientists from Germany after we won the war and set them right up in America and let them continue their heinous experiments that Hitler was having them do. And they continued it all right here. You might not know that, but that's the truth. So, I heard people say genetic experiments, crossbreeding, or even demons. I truthfully believe they're extraterrestrials that can cloak themselves invisible and come through portals from orbs in the woods. If they exist, I'm a skeptic till I see one myself, but I don't doubt the existence. That's healthy. It's a healthy point of view. Keep an open mind because they do exist. And I realize that the vast majority of the population has no experience with these things, but don't discount the small minority that do, because some of us are telling the truth. Some of the people that have been out there telling their stories, quote unquote, or just doing it for the attention, or they're just stories. You know, we don't disseminate any of those here on this channel. Only interested in the truth, no smoke, just truth. I have a hard time disbelieving Christian witnesses. There are many witnesses, but sometimes I wonder if it's all a big money-making occult group. There's so many films and radio shows There's either a lot of liars or truthful people out there. I agree. Like you said on a radio show, someone needs to capture one or monitor these things. But I believe in the government cover-up of aliens and technology. The men in black or FBI will threaten people about trying to show proof. It could affect national parks and other things with making money if the Bigfoots become a protected species. It could affect rules and regulation and cause panic. How do you like our Biden economy right now in the U.S.? It's crazy, isn't it? Don't like it. Yeah, it's crazy. What it is it's evil. And they're, in my opinion, they're bringing about the planned downfall of America. So, time will prove me right or wrong on that. I'm all about truth and justice, and I didn't realize our government is full of so many criminals. The Democrats and the world elites have so much money they can do anything. I want Trump back or someone Republican and Christian in office. We all know the C-19 was government control. It was not an accident. Georgia Guidestones, Agenda 21, depopulation of the human race to 500 million. Easier to control all of us that way. Hopefully the rapture happens before one world government and one world currency bull crap happens. No, the rapture will not happen before then. I hate to bust anyone's bubble, but I had to tell the truth as I know it. The rapture happens at the very end of tribulations. So not before or during the middle, at the very end. Everyone has to stand or fall according to their own faith. So time will also prove me right or wrong on that. So please, all you people, don't be waiting around to be raptured up into heaven suddenly. It happens at the very last of the tribulatory period, right before Jesus comes back to set up his throne on earth, his new kingdom. So I do apologize for rambling, Barton. Well, I do too. Travis, sorry. And I'm sorry if I wasted your time. You did not. I love to hear from my viewers. Keep sending in your questions and your experiences. It's just great. This channel is not just for me. It's really not for me at all. It's for you guys. So it's not really for entertainment purposes. In my own view, it's for the dissemination of the truth. So regardless of how shadow banned and suppressed I am, I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to let these people win. I'm going to keep telling the truth. And I am looking at other platforms to post videos on and reach more people. Okay. I resigned from a stressful job and am unemployed right now on a temporary vacation. My idea of getting footage of Bigfoot or Dogman is an open wooded spot in a national forest near some running water and digging out a manhole underground for camouflage and being undetected with a smartphone or camcorder in your lap and a pistol for protection. Some raw meat hung on a tree branch 20 feet high, gift offering bowls of food, and a tent set up for Bigfoot to investigate while you film him. Maybe a campfire going too, and a lantern in the distance. I have to say, do not go into any of the national parks and recreation areas and dig holes. According to some people, that's getting to be a big problem, although I do not know any researcher that includes a shovel or a spade in his equipment. Or a 20-foot deer stand while being camouflaged or waiting in a camper, or a large bear cage. Sit in the middle of it with a camcorder, up close footage, and nothing can harm you. How not to find Bigfoot like I see on these dumb shows. Be in a group of people, teams, set up trail cams, wood knock, local vocalization calls, and shine flashlights around. I agree with that 100%. You cannot sneak up on these things, Travis. No matter how good you think you are, and how quiet and how stealthy, these things know you're there, and you're not going to fool them. So, placing yourself in a large metal cage, I don't advise you to do that at all, because these things are So strong, you would just not believe how strong they were. They could take that metal cage and just bend it, or throw it away, just throw it off. So, yeah, please don't do that. Okay, what else we got here? Try to do one more. Okay, from Tristan McDaniel. Hello, my name is Tristan McDaniel. I just wanted to get in touch to possibly discuss something that happened to me back in 2013 or 2014. Thank you for your time. And of course, I wrote Tristan back. And he sent me this, so here we go. Back in 2013 or 2014, pretty close to the border of Davis County and Hancock County near Paleville in Kentucky, I had been fishing with my girlfriend at the time at a pond on a private property where my dad lived. It was down the hill from his house, and the back of the pond bordered the woods. They wrapped around and bordered the adjacent property. After it got dark, and we hadn't had much luck catching any catfish, which was really strange not to catch anything, not even a bluegill, my girlfriend was getting tired of looking at a bobber in the dark. I was looking around to see if any deer had come out of the woods, and I mentioned that the moon was bright to her. She ignored what I said, so I started to pack everything up. The moon was just coming up over the trees, and it had a red tint to it. I think it was August, so it was pretty hot even after the sun went down. And I put all of the fishing rods on the ATV. As I walked down the bank to get her 2 rods, I noticed down the tree line. I looked down the tree line and noticed the moon up over the trees and thought to myself, well, that's really bright tonight. But as I turned around, I saw the first red moon I mentioned. As I looked back and forth between the actual moon and what I first thought was, I realized that the red object in the sky was moving slowly. It was perfectly round and looked like it was almost over the Ohio River. Just to give you an idea of how far away it looked at the time, I asked her if she was ready to go, and she went and got in the 4-wheeler. I just stared at the red light as it looked like it was following the river in the direction of Owensboro. I looked back at the moon once the object went out of sight and walked back to the 4-wheeler, got in it, and drove back to the house. Didn't say a word to my girlfriend or my dad because neither one of them noticed it. Thanks again for your time. My apologies for the long message. No apologies necessary, Tristan. Thank you for sending that in. UFOs, right. They're so common here in Western Kentucky that people don't even bother to report them anymore. It's just, I've seen UFOs myself so many times in the company of many, many other witnesses. So it's interesting to think about the fact that we have such a large number of UFO sightings in the same area that we have many, many inhumanoid sightings. Is there a connection? If you've read any of my books, you know that I believe there is a connection, and I believe that all of the unexplained phenomena are connected, not just the inhumanoid phenomenon, but the UFOs, the ghosts, the inhumanoids, they're all connected in one way or another. And what we need to do is toss away the mentality that these things are unrelated and start looking for the truth. Throw away the narratives that's been given to us for the last 50 or 60 years and start looking for the truth. These things, these inhumanoids, the Bigfoot creatures are not apes. That is the least plausible explanation of all that I've heard, and I've heard them all. So please keep looking and open your mind up and realize that these inhumanoids are not natural animals, and we'll finally take a step forward toward true knowledge when we do that. You know, every time you turn on the TV, you have cryptid shows, quote unquote, with these experts, quote unquote, and they're all apers. They're proudly they proudly call themselves apers, and it's I think it's too bad that there's so many of them out there and not enough truthers. So please keep an open mind, and I'm gonna cut it for now, and I'll be back on soon. Thank you guys for showing up, and thank you to all the new subscribers and the returning subscribers. We love you. Please like and share this. If you like the content, please show all your friends. And you guys have a great day, and we'll see you soon.